about what you've seen from your guys these past couple weeks compared to what you were hoping to see from them?
They checked off all boxes what we were looking for going into the spring. We kind of hit the ground running from our playoff success, with what you want to call it, from what we were previously. So for the guys to come in this spring and be able to kind of hit the ground running still, kind of picking up where we left off from, picking up terminologies, taking a little additional terms that we've been doing. They responded well. We're really pushing them a lot. We have a lot of guys that go both ways. So practice for them, you ain't never coming off the field. I'll give you a water break here and there, but when you're on offense, you're on offense. When you're on defense, you're on defense, and I need the same level of intensity. So sometimes they'll get a little tired. I'll try to ride them a little more, stay on top of them, push them, even when they feel like they can't go any longer. But overall, they accept the challenge, though. I mean, like going into year 3, my 10th graders, well, my current upcoming seniors, they were sophomores. So now, being 3 years into the program, the expectation is there. And then for the Aubrey and Kalen and Pierre and that 9th grade group, those guys, they've been with me since 8th grade, So with that, they were able to kind of pick up that intensity earlier. The older guys are showing us some good leadership as far as with what the expectations are, because we got 15 seniors. So after they leave this year, it'll be a lot of new guys will be stepping into some roles, but those older guys have been doing a good job as far as with leading the younger guys the right way to make sure that they're doing everything that they need to do for when they leave to take over the throne. So I'm excited for that.
What was the process like for y'all to? I mean, it had been a couple down years, and then y'all obviously took a nice step forward this fall. And I told you, I was talking to the guys, and all of them were talking about the culture change and getting their minds in the right place. What was that process like to get to even the last year step in this process? And do you remember kind of a week, a game, a moment in the off season, whatever, where you could kind of see the light was starting to flick on for
the light switch really started switching that first year in the playoffs. We were able to sneak into the playoffs. God worked it out. We got it as a 28 seed. We played against a number 5 Generette team. Those guys had some real good athletes on that team. Going into the game, we looked like we would be outmanned. We only dressed out 24 kids that game, but we had them on the ropes. We were winning the whole game up to 4 minutes left in the game. We kind of broke on some undisciplined things that we tend to make mistakes in that first year, but that game really showed us that we're going to have a good football team moving forward. And those guys took the momentum from that playoff game, and it carried into the spring of last year, and then that momentum carried into the summer, and ultimately that carried into the fall last year. And that's where you saw the big improvement, and that improvement was just an improvement. But now the next step is state championship. West St. John, we don't play for improvement. We don't play for we're doing good. We play for state championships. That's what we play for. That's our goal. It's either dome or bust. It's not a secret. The players know that. The coaches know that. The community know that. The administration knows that. The parish knows that. The tri-parish knows that. And that's what we have. We got one goal in mind. Go to college. Be successful in life if you're going to get into the workforce. Win state championships. Compete for championships. But really building character men. So that's really what a lot of it is about with us, man. Trying to build character, whether that's going to be at a job or on a sports field. And for some guys, they'll get the opportunity to move on to the next level. And for the other guys, we're going to go to work and we're going to be successful. We're going to be a good husband. We're going to be a good father, a good brother. And that's really where it's at. So now we're just taking that momentum, and we treated spring almost like in season, because we played against a Kentwood team that those guys, they lost in the semifinals last year. So historically, they're going to always be good, and we know that. That's why we took the challenge, because we feel like we're strong this year. So we're not really running from anybody. So we're going to go out tomorrow and we're going to compete. They're going to come in here compete, but we're up for that challenge, and we're going to just go play some good football.
You were just talking to guys about, look, it's great that we had a couple college coaches, some media here. We expect to be in the dome and for it to be that much bigger, and so be prepared for that and work, do what you got to do to get to that point. What do the next few months look like? I mean, Kenwood will be a nice kind of test to end the school year, and then we'll have, I guess, 3 months before we get into kind of, okay, now these things really count on Friday nights. What is your kind of messaging to them through those months, and what you want to see by the time we get to August and September?
So really just finishing out strong tomorrow in our spring game, and then we're going to take a week off. We're right back at it, because we're going to LSU on June 7th for that 7-on-7 O-line, D-line camp. So we're going to go out there and go compete. We're going to be able to go showcase Chance Bove, Jace Farnell, Kalen Gardner, some of those guys that we have on this team. Letting Ashton, my quarterback, Ashton kind of just see it on that next level. And now we just have more depth. We have more variety, more packages of guys, and having a strong summer. You know, they understand we're going to have to go through some adversity this summer. We're going to have to get tired. We're going to have to sweat, blood, tears. All of that builds the character that it'll take to be able to win a state championship. And that's where we at. The guys understand that. That's what they want. You know, Chance is the leader of the team. So with him, we kind of going to go as he go, but he's been doing everything he needs to do, being a leader on the field, off the field. He had a good practice today, and just letting them know as we're turning the corner around here, this is what it looks like. You know, I was blessed to be in a position to when I was in high school, like I would tell to my guys, this was normal for me in high school as far as with having colleges and coaches and media outlets and recruiting services and all of those things. But now for my guys to start getting that exposure, and that's big for them because that's something new for some of my guys. We haven't had a practice where you got 3, 4, 5 colleges at practice, media outlets at our practices. So for the kids, it really just shows the hard work that they putting in, that the coaching staff putting in, you know, my outside resources who want to see the program succeed. So this is really just the benefits of the reaping the benefits of that, and we want to keep that momentum going into the summer, and we're going to do everything that we need to do. And I'm just excited for what we got going next. I'm just ready for the next thing and seeing where my kids seeing the challenge, that they're up for that challenge, and just do what they got to do.